Let's talk offensive guards. Welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And we're going to continue our series of the top five in all positions for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is our last offensive position, offensive guards. And this kind of position, Steelers have had some pretty decent guys here. Again, not a lot of big time players. This is just a kind of a position where, and they're not just the Steelers. This is a position that you don't really get a ton of first round picks. Um, with this position, I mean, you do have some, and the Steelers actually have some, but just not a position that you get a lot of first round picks. But with that said, it's guys that build themselves up and become all pros and Hall of Famers. So with that said, let's get to it with the Steelers. So my number five guy is Carlton Hazelrig. Um, was a big time wrestler in college. Actually, was a national champion. I really don't think he played football in college, but the Steelers brought him in, and put his hand in the dirt, and he, became a real solid player for the Steelers. One of his things was his strength. Um, he was a very strong guy, and with that, with his wrestling background, he was able to, have leverage, and he understood leverage and all that, and he became a real solid player for the Steelers. So with that, he was my number five guy. All right, fourth guy, Sam Davis. One of the old time players. Just a guy that Chuck Noll um grew fond of. And he just he was one of the foundation blocks for the 1970s Steelers when the Steelers kind of turned everything around and started winning Super Bowls. Sam Davis was a big part of that. So with that said, he is my number four guy. Let's go until number three. Gary Mullen, four-time Super Bowl winner. Um, Played on those offensive lines in his 70s, and um, he was part of that offensive line that won four Super Bowls for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and also paved the way for Franco Harris to become a Hall of Famer and open up holes for him. And another guy that was just a solid guy. Um, he worked hard, and probably wasn't a big name when he was drafted, but he turned out to have a very solid career with the Steelers. It was very important to the Steelers, and he was my number three guy. Now let's go into number two. David DeCasso. He was a first round pick. Very solid guy. Actually, I believe down the road got a chance to be a Hall of Famer. Not really sure if he'll make it or not, but he has a great chance to make it. Won a couple Super Bowls with the Steelers, and very smart guy. and I think he was very deserving of the number 2 spot, and that's where I have him. So let's go to number 1, Alan Faneca, Hall of Famer. The castle kind of took over for him. He was a number 1 draft pick. Um, this is a guy that could do it all. I mean, I think because of some injuries, he actually moved out to tackle a little bit for the Steelers, but was a dominating guard that opened big holes, and won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers, and was very a big part of that offensive line. That he was kind of like the anchor. Again, like I said, very smart player, was able to move outside the tackle, and he held his own there. Probably could have played tackle if they needed him to stay out there, but they moved him back inside the guard, and he ended up making it a Hall of Fame career. And very solid player. Well, more than solid. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. But again, like I say, not a lot of big time players. But Alan Faneca was definitely one of those big time players, and he's the number 1 offensive guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least my opinion. And with that said, that is it for the offense, and we will move over to the defense, and that's kind of like where the players are at. Because the Steelers were really built on defense, and I think that series should be fun. So until then, talk to you later, and we'll get started on the defense. All right, take care. Bye bye.